record.
Oh, there we go. Hey, everybody.
I gotta start the. I mean, I was just letting us banter, get the warm up in before we actually started the official podcast.
It's gold from second one. Now we got the lost tapes.
Talk to the internet number what? Do you know? 54. But we were just talking about the fact that you and I have not been in the same room for this podcast since before the pandemic.
Yeah, we did Drunk Doom Eternal in like March 2020.
That's right. That was right as the pandemic was like starting.
And then we were in the same space for Flight Sim, the Flight Sim thing you did.
We were in the same space for Flight Sim.
And we did Drunk Mario Golf.
We also did Drunk Souls in November.
We did? We did!
Yeah, we did. It was Demon Souls, but yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, Drunk Souls was awesome.
Ooh.
And then... Did we do something else other than Mario Golf?
Oh, the post E3, the Nintendo Direct.
I was drinking, you were not, because you had been drinking for 4 days straight.
Yeah, that was fun. And I am wrecked right now, not for fun reasons either.
But also, I was gonna say you're not hungover really. It's just
kinda.
You got hit with a bunch of booster shots.
Yeah, they needled me up. I was like a Bigfoot. And some dude with like a Gatling needle thing. Just
So tell them tell the audience what they gave you.
Oh, I went in for a booster because my girlfriend is immunocompromised.
So a COVID booster.
And yeah. Went in for a COVID booster. Also, she's got anxiety, so
of course.
Just as a
who doesn't right now?
Yeah. So I'm falling on the sword for her again. You know? Us fellas, we always gotta
stop it, Lawrence.
We always gotta
stop white knighting.
We gotta go through the grind for our women, don't we? Yeah. So anyway, I was at the CVS and they were like, "Hey, you want a flu shot?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" So they double jabbed me, which was pretty cool.
That's a lot.
Made me feel like a big man.
That's a lot.
And now my arm hurts a lot. Well, the soreness is spread to my back, but only on this side.
When did you get it? Did you get it
yesterday?
Yesterday. Okay, so you're not fully in it yet. It usually takes like 24 to 48 hours.
I thought I was on the tail end of it already.
Uh-oh.
Which is weird because the first 2 shots did nothing to me.
That's great.
I was like, I wanna like get a little shivery, little chill, pull blankets to my chin. Ooh, I'm so fake sick. It didn't happen.
I don't think that didn't happen to me either, which is weird. So the second shot, I had less of a reaction to than the first. So
yeah, because you're getting used to it. I honestly think it's the flu shot, not the COVID booster that got me. Because I haven't got my flu shot.
Like I've gotten that flu shot a number of times, like in the past, and it wrecks me. Like boy, does it wreck me. So it's brutal. So I can't believe you doubled up.
I feel great.
No, you don't. You said you don't.
I don't. Oh, okay. My stomach's all messed up. I didn't sleep much last night, but that's good. Makes for good podcasting when your inhibitions are low and your brain's not firing right.
I'm noticing people in chat saying that it is a little laggy, and that is on Twitch. Twitch was laggy yesterday as well. I'm not getting any frame drops, so I know it is on Twitch. Twitch was having an issue yesterday, so we apologize everybody for Twitch, and just write a letter to Papa Bezos.
That's a bummer.
And I know Twitch was having a few issues here and there yesterday, and eventually sort of settled up.
Come on, Twitch.
I mean,
get your shit together, Twitch.
All we're doing, Lawrence, we make literally billions of dollars for them every year. So I don't understand why they can't just make a server.
I don't understand either.
Just put a server together. You know what I'm saying?
I might have to. I don't want to do it. I might have to write an email.
To who?
Yeah, Twitch@twitch.
Twitch@twitch.twitch.
That's not that hard to figure out. Oh, Packaroni's got a random question. When y'all gonna review AMVs again? That was hilarious.
Oh, I forgot about that. Man, we did a lot of stuff way back before the pandemic started.
I mean, I have kind of from my personal perspective, like I like coming up with bits and things for podcasts. I like coming up with conversation starters. But I've kind of held off on that because a lot of my time in regards to the podcast was kind of in more, setting up the stream, setting up layouts, recording, doing the editing. So like I had to be a little mindful of the amount of time I was investing. But I don't know, man. If we're doing it like this makes audio mixing a lot easier.
That's true, yeah, because we just listen to it.
Yeah, so maybe it's time to come up with some stupid bits again. I didn't get to. I've been holding on to this for a long time.
Oh wow, all right,
a long time.
Like, how long are we talking? 2 years?
Well, however long it was since we did the AMV podcast.
About a year and a half, about 18 months. Yeah.
I had so many cool videos, and like witty, intellectual, humorous observations about them all, Bruce.
All right, and what happened?
I didn't get to show any of them.
All right, I was just checking.
Other people on the podcast decided to talk.
I mean, that's what happens in a podcast.
I
People
know,
talk.
it sucks, dude.
Yeah, it does kind of suck.
When you come in with like 30 a.m.
Why don't you just do your own podcast? Yeah, Lawrence, just do your own
That's what
podcast.
streaming is, isn't it?
It is.
It's just
That's
rambling
what it
endlessly
is.
for 8
That
hours.
literally is exactly what that is. So,
Dude, I'm pretty proud of myself too. Speaking of rambling endlessly, I got through a 24-hour stream and reading a book the whole time, and I like my voice wasn't
wait, what
blasted.
do you
by the
mean
end of it.
reading a book?
So in honor of QuakeCon, I did a
Right.
Doom Eternal stream, but then also read the Doom novels from like the mid 90s, and they are amazing. They're wretchedly horrible. Oh my gosh. Doom Guy is like straight up like an incel loser who accidentally survives most of his encounters with demons and is killing demons just to like save a girl that he watched a movie with once.
Cool.
And he's like, she's dating somebody else, but we just have such a connection. And it's like straight up he's saying all
Doom,
this shit.
this is Doom Guy?
This is Doom Guy. No, it's Flynn Fly Taggart. He's got a nickname and it's Fly.
So that's Doom Guy, and he has a romantic love interest in those novels.
No, calling her romantic is very strong because she's not really there for it. She's dating somebody else, by the way.
Wait, hold on a minute.
They got real drunk and kissed once, and it was super weird.
So wait, so Doom Guy cheated on that girl's boyfriend?
She wasn't dating anyone at the time, I don't think.
Okay.
Arlene. The name will be burned in my memory forever because she's perfect. Yeah, no, they like the extent of their relationship, and there were like pages and pages of Flynn Taggart gushing about how perfect she is. Except they all really amounted to like we were next to each other doing military stuff because he's a Marine, you know.
Yeah.
And then he fell in love with her, I guess, because they watched an Abbott and Costello movie and ate popcorn together.
Do they have sex or?
No, God,
No.
no, dude, no,
Oh,
gross.
all right. I was just checking.
Doom Guy's Catholic.
Oh, all right. I'm Orthodox Catholic, I would imagine.
I would imagine too. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I should. Oh man, they should make a Doom anime. Then I can make a music video out of it.
You could. Why don't you produce the Doom anime?
Oh shit, man! I could produce the Doom anime.
Yeah, you could. You know animators.
Do you think this is something I've wondered about? Because that novel's pretty amazing. Do you think you could intentionally write cringy incel anime stuff without betraying that you know what you're doing? Or do you have to magically be that nerd who's genuinely putting it out into the world because you think it's great,
I see.
because you don't really have the perspective of the world yet to know how creepy
I think
you are?
the people that write like shonen anime, they know what they're doing. I don't think that they're like, I wish that I was a 13-year-old boy and I had powers and could control everything. I think that they have written enough shonen anime to where they know now, well, this is what people want to see. They want to see a 13-year-old boy, control giant titans and have daddy issues and, like all the same shit that every shonen anime has. So I think they've got it locked down at this point.
Okay.
But that said, in earnestness, when they first wrote the first shonen anime, that was probably like, this is what I want. I want to be a imagine if I sat down to write an anime, because I'm not a writer at all. If I sat down to write one, I would write in earnest what I wanted when I was 13 years old. And man, oh man, Lawrence, it'd blow your mind.
Yeah?
No, it wouldn't. It'd
It'd be part Star Wars,
it'd
right?
be all the same shit that you've seen. Yeah.
I know. Well, that's all shonen. Just remixing the cool shit that's out there.
Yeah, it'd be all the same shit. And it would be like really cheesy, and like it would be just like Doom Guy sitting down to watch Abbott and Costello with a girl he likes or whatever, something stupid. And then I would get better at my craft and write another shonen anime that was a little better. So
I guess they think like Stephanie Meyer, like
Oh,
Twilight was
yeah.
written 100% genuine because she was probably super into it. Or is she just that brilliant? Like she understands what it's like to be a.
No, I think that was because that started as fan fiction.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she
There's
was
no
just writing
question.
because she loved it. So
I guess I'm fascinated by the people who can create. Well, this is going to be a charged word. Great works,
Sure.
or rather, works that resonate with
a lot of
with
people.
masses.
Broad appeal, yeah.
Yeah, but they do it being one of the masses, without like understanding the nuts and bolts and the psychiatry of it all and the interchange of all the characters and the archetypes and how it triggers little things in our ape brains. Are just like, no, vampire sparkle, it's pretty.
I think
Everyone else is like, vampire sparkle, pretty.
No, yeah, I think since they're writing it from the heart, that's the whole point of the hero myth, is that the hero myth exists in all of us, and it has for as long as the humans have been alive. So it always resonates because it's all there with us. So if they're writing it from the heart in earnest, then it probably is just the same thing that they've written over and over. And, you know, like, that's maybe why it felt like what is that? Not reconstituted drivel is because it is. Like, it's the same thing over and over and over. That said, though, sometimes it grabs people. Sometimes it's like, oh, cool. I mean, like, Twilight is by no means, like, good at all. But I know a lot of people that really liked it and enjoyed it. And, like...
The werewolves are always shirtless, though. Because they're wild.
I mean, again...
And they abuse their spouses. It's for fun.
It's for fun, right? It's for fun. Because, like, I can point to, like, certain specific myths in, like, Harry Potter and be like, that's actually good. Like, that was a really cool thing that Rowling did. Or whatever else. And be like, this was a well done writing or something. Not everything you can point to and say that. So, I don't know. What's wrong?
Real quick aside, I'm curious, Bruce, how do you feel about this font? Or like Abrams font?
The Abrams font?
Kind of becoming synonymous.
It doesn't bother me.
No?
No.
You don't want the like weird 70s?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me at all. Look, I don't even think about those new movies.
At all?
No. Not at all.
Fuck, you're right.
The new Star Wars 789, episode 789, I don't give a shit about.
I have thought so much more about Rogue One and Solo in like the last couple of years. Just kind of being like, wow, that was really cool.
Rogue One I meant to rewatch because I do love Rogue One. Solo I've seen a couple of times. But the 789s, not at all. Ever since I saw Rise of Skywalker, I was like, that's it.
Oh, but that's mine. Classic though. Huh? That's a boss nass line read for sure.
I was just that's it for me. That I had enough.
Abrams didn't get a lot right, but he nailed that one line from that dude.
We've all
been there.
I have only been considering. So all of my brain power that used to go to Star Wars now goes to Marvel. So what if? Loki,
okay, all right.
The new, like, obviously Black Widow. Can't wait for Shang-Chi. All that brain power that used to be like Star Wars now all goes to Marvel because that's rewarded. It's rewarded with pretty good content.
Okay.
So I'm excited about because What If happens every week now. Got to watch What If last night. I was very excited. I watched it and I was like, man, that just made me feel good. It was just good stuff. So now that's all it occupies only Marvel brain space. And I don't want it to be Star Wars. Mandalorian was great. And so when Mandalorian comes back, it will come back into my brain.
Okay.
But for now, I don't think about it. Because it was bad. Because Rise of Skywalker was so bad.
It was something else.
It was so bad. So
I still haven't seen it again. And I've been fucked up enough to potentially want to watch it. Yeah. McClunky. McClunky. Classic line. Yeah, what's the classic line from Ep 9, man? We don't got one.
Though there is. They fly now. Yeah. That's the classic line. I still quote that in streams when something flies.
Yeah, you're right.
And somebody in chat will usually go, "They fly now," and I go, "They fly now. They fly now. They fly now. They fly now." Over and over.
Why didn't someone like Home Alone clap both their cheeks and go like, "Chewbacca's back"? That would have been the thing. I would have loved it. But no. Or like, damn. Maybe if like Kylo burped into Rey's mouth when they were kissing or something. I'm just going off the deep end now. This is unrealistic, Bruce. Get out of here.
We should talk about Gamescom. Halo Infinite. Because it happened, yeah.
Strong military men save the day.
Guys, Halo Infinite, December 8th, everyone. It's coming out December 8th.
No Discord alert. Oops. You're right, Malcolm. Hold on.
Lawrence will throw out a Discord alert for people there in the Discord.
I'm out of practice.
But
body's riddled with fake disease.
But Halo Infinite coming out December 8th, which by the way, I don't think that bodes well for Halo Infinite if it's coming out so close.
That is, well, they already shed features, you know? That is we have, like, Phil Spencer said we ship this year. Fuck!
We got to do it this year.
That is the absolute last possible date where you can get everything in stores before. Like, that's after Black Friday.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I am worried about that.
I think what they're if the multiplayer's fine, people will be okay with it. But
multiplayer will be free to play.
People seem to like the tech.
Multiplayer will be free to play, and if that comes out, I honestly, remember when I said to you in one of the episodes for Inside Games, I was like, wouldn't it be weird if they released free to play multiplayer but nothing else, and waited and delayed campaign and stuff, and they're getting closer and closer to that.
Yeah, that's essentially, I mean, that's kind of the Sea of Thieves method.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's multiplayer, it functions, get it out there. And then we'll just patch it, baby. And it's a Game Pass now, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's free to play for everybody, so it's like, whatever, it's on Game Pass, which is rad, but anybody can play it. And now they're not doing no co-op and campaign.
Yeah, that's rough.
Which is the worst.
Although this
gives
them multiple marketing beats, which
yeah.
I thought was always the goal of Game Pass. Is like, in a given month, you have some like hoity-toity, fruity-tooty anime game, or sorry, indie game.
Oh yeah,
like 12-minute. We got Willem Dafoe. Wow. And that's your October game where you have like a whole campaign around getting people to sign up for that. And then Halo Infinite comes out, you get a campaign. Halo Infinite's got co-op now. Boom. In May, it's like another sign up for Game Pass. Halo Infinite co-op, play with your buds.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna it's just, I
thought about that too. I think you're right.
There'll be like seasonal content updates. We added in a micro campaign. Actually, that'd be cool. I guess Sea of Thieves is close to this. Games that add single player content.
Along the way.
In chunks. Yeah, Pirate's Life is kind of the biggest example of it.
Well, Sea of Thieves, I think, was meant to be a multiplayer experience initially, whereas Halo, it depends on how they look at it, meaning Microsoft, but Halo, I thought, was always meant to be campaign first and then multiplayer, but maybe not. Maybe it's changing.
That's always how I played it.
I mean, me too, but maybe they are changing it for themselves at Microsoft. Maybe they're like, we would rather have a free-to-play multiplayer because of the success of Warzone and Fortnite and everything else, that we want this to come first. We want this to bring in the player base. And then, I mean, it's exactly what Warzone did, which is if people didn't buy Call of Duty, the campaign or whatever, or the multiplayer, they released Warzone, and then Warzone advertised the other Call of Duties inside it. So then they were like, I'm sure they saw a bump in sales from whenever they would advertise in Warzone. So if they start with multiplayer for Halo and then advertise a campaign, and then, like you said, another marketing beat of co-op campaign or whatever, they'll see a bump in sales from that if they start with multiplayer. So I don't know. It'd be it's just weird because I said it out loud and I was like, there's no way they're going to do this, and they're getting closer and closer to it.
Yeah. So. Also, this trailer just seems weird to me.
What do you mean?
Well, it's a cinematic trailer for multiplayer for one. That's weird.
It is weird. Yes, that's right. Yes.
It's also just like kind of bland story-wise.
Yeah. Yes.
Spartan was saved by Spartans and now loves Spartans and is Spartan. Like, I don't know. I immediately thought of like Pacific Rim, and even that was kind of a trope, because Pacific Rim is just an anime movie, which it wears its tropes on its sleeve.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Halo as a universe. Yeah, now that I think about it, all the campaigns are pretty like, fuck yeah, Spartans.
Oh, they always have been.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. So what part of this is, okay, so I didn't play the tech alpha, and maybe you guys can tell me this.
I did, yeah.
So when you're in multiplayer, are you a named character with like a voice and a personality, kind of like Call of Duty? Where you're not Call of Duty man, you're Spectre.
I don't think so.
Because that's what this trailer implies to me, is that there are characters in multiplayer that you jump in. But when you played the tech alpha, you were like straight up like kind of a weird talking teenager, right? You're like, yeah, guys, let's go.
You could customize. I remember you could customize their look, but I think they all had a specific Master Chief style voice.
Oh, did they?
Or maybe not. Maybe there was no voice at all. Truthfully,
I felt kind of goofily teen to me.
I don't remember anything.
Love y'all.
I don't remember anything like that at all. Maybe there was, but I don't remember it. I played it for about 3 hours, but I don't remember being like, pick Chad or Rod or, like, I don't remember any of that stuff.
You are your own Spartan. Okay, my bad. You are your own character you can customize. They do have voices.
I just assumed everybody wanted to be Master Chief. So then everybody looks like...
But Master Chief is like... He's a tragic character. Who wants to be Master Chief?
Everybody.
He gets blown up all over the place.
So what, though?
He doesn't have his girlfriend anymore?
But he'll get his girlfriend back in Halo Infinite.
And then he'll have two girlfriends.
Who? Cortana and?
Oh, the like shy, fidgety millennial that we saw in last one.
That's right.
Which, by the way, I'm getting kind of tired of that. Just like the like socially awkward, like Zoomer or like, Rose from episode 8. As soon as she was like fumbling over her words, I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, I know.
Another socially awkward, like youngster.
Usually the character arc for that socially awkward youngster.
I'm being so negative right now. I apologize.
No. I mean, I don't. I think usually the character arc for that, though, is you show that they are shy and socially awkward, but then the next episode, whatever, they've come out of their shell and now they're heroes or whatever. Generally, that's what's supposed to happen. I don't know that that does happen for
an AI girlfriend.
For an AI girlfriend in Halo Infinite, it probably does. You think at one point she sheds her digital clothes and then she's wearing the Cortana outfit from Halo 4,
and her jugs get huge. Yeah,
they grow.
Do you think that's DLC? Like just bring back Halo 4 Cortana? Which, man, if you've ever wanted to like know that games aimed at 13-year-old boys lean so heavily into the Oedipus complex, just look at Halo. It's all over that game.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it is.
God, they made Cortana thick as fuck. I remember seeing that and being like, what are we doing here? How is this like, no one's laughing at this because it's comical.
It is comical.
When they did that in Mass Effect 3, I'll never forget. The right like cyber jugs they put on Edie.
And Jessica Chobot.
Oh, I didn't even really hang around her.
Oh yeah, there was like every NPC in Mass Effect 3, you're just like, is that real? Did they mean to do that? They absolutely did. They totally did.
And that was like everyone was toasting it as high art when it came out, and it's just like tits and explosions. It's it's so. I thought when the remasters came out that people would replay Mass Effect 3 and be like, oh, this is uncomfortably weird. But no one really came to that conclusion. So.
Sign in.
That's fine.
Hold on a minute. Let me pull this up on my YouTube account.
So what else? We were talking about Gamescom, right? Sorry,
Saints Row. I was just about to pull it up here. Let's see here.
I'm putting this all in my loopiness.
Dude, you got two shots. You got a COVID shot and a flu shot, like at the same time. What doctor recommended that?
The lady at the CVS counter.
That's
She's
wild.
like, you want a flu shot? I was like, yeah, free shot. Fuck yeah.
That's wild, dude.
I ain't getting no flu. They eased into it with Cortana. Every game made her slightly bigger, so no one noticed. I noticed. Holy shit. In Halo 4, when she appears for the first time, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
But they specifically made her matronly with like kind of sagging huge boobs.
Matronly. I love that word, matronly.
Me too.
Saints Row's been like, people have been wanting Saints Row to come back for a long, long time. I think it's actually.
Why? No one played 4?
Did they not play Saints Row 4?
I thought it stopped selling.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, well, I guess they made a fair number of offshoots. Because they also had the one where you were like, God, what was it called? Just Agents of Mayhem, where it was kind of like a G.I. Joe thing.
Huh. I don't remember that at all.
I'm just happy Volition is still in the game. Volition's one of my favorite developers, and they've been knuckleheads since old times. I don't know, man. This is weird to me. I do like that the phone has the little like D-pad on it. That's pretty neat.
This is I don't know. Saints Row 4 was fun. I actually played a good amount of it because it came out around the time I had first started at Machinima. And I really enjoyed it.
That Tarantino shot, all tasteful reference for you.
I really enjoyed it, but it was like, I don't know. After a while, it got old. However, it could fill the gap where like people really want a GTA style game, and
do people want that?
I mean, like they want GTA 6. Like people are slamming on Skyrim and GTA because they just keep re-releasing remasters of the same game from 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, but like there's like Assassin's Creed, Valhalla. Like maybe I'm making false equivalences by comparing all of like open world mini game node based activity games. But those seem to have fallen off pretty hard just because there was such a rash of them, and no one could or wanted to finish them.
That's true.
Yeah, it's. I guess it's like, are we going to be on this like permanent cycle of like escalation of absurdity into reboot into escalation into reboot? Which if that's the case,
I think that
fine.
happens a lot in movies too, though.
Yeah. And Marvel's got to like ratchet it back now.
Yeah, they have to bring it back because they've done the whole save the universe thing. But I don't know if is this Saints Row, like, are we making it less absurd?
It's much less absurd than living in a VR scape where you're the president and you have to fight aliens. Or it's not. I don't know, man. This game might go right there. What I see is like there's the colors on the gang members. It's like it's very Saints Row 1.
Yeah.
It's like smaller scale. There's driving on rooftops and stuff, but it's hard to say how much of this is going to be gameplay. I don't know. Or people. It's interesting because like my read, which is partial, but people seem to really want Cyberpunk to be GTA.
Yes.
They wanted all the mini games. They wanted all the weird like bit interactivity and stuff.
Right, but they wanted the cyberpunk universe.
Yeah, which is fuck, man, that sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome. Yeah.
But it ended up being more like Mass Effect, but open world and in cyberpunk. So I guess there is a hunger for the next GTA, but only Rockstar can make GTA because those games take so fucking long and it's so much work. Very few companies can do that, and very few companies will, given that like no game sells like Grand Theft Auto, and if you're gonna invest that much into one, it better sell like Grand Theft Auto. So I don't know.
They did with, it's funny you say that because they did with Red Dead.
Didn't sell as much. It sold 30 million, I think.
It didn't sell as much. I mean, obviously it's not a cash cow like GTA is, but
self-made.
But Red Dead is where is it? This one? Yeah. Red Dead was I wonder what Rockstar, if they think that was a success or not. I'm very interested to see if they think that is. I don't know.
Rockstar's brutal on games. Like they are almost as bad as Disney used to be before they shut down their whole division. But I remember them like Max Payne 3 sold like 15 million units, and they're like, never again. That is not nearly enough. And I mean, to their credit, and as hard as they worked on that game, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would guess that like Red Dead 2 probably cleared money. It sounded like a passion project, and like having played it, they did a lot with that game that like they didn't have to do, and it just seems like they had a strong vision of what they wanted it to be, and they were willing to crunch to get it out and all that stuff. It's funny because some of the rumors about GTA 6 suggest that it's not going to come out for like what, another 4 years, and that's because they're trying to avoid crunch.
It'll probably be in around the same time that Skyrim 2 is. So
Skyrim 2.
Yeah, I know. Or Elder Scrolls 7 or whatever.
See, that's the thing, though. I don't even have faith that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be like that, because Fallout 4 was starting to branch away from that format. I mean, it was open world, but it wasn't really like... I mean, I don't know the math of it.
What do you mean?
Are there more quests in 4 than there were in 3? Because it seemed like a lot of the game content got swapped out. Like, not necessarily linear or branching quests. Yeah. When it comes to Bethesda open world games. I don't know. What about 76.2 though?
Fallout 76.2.
I mean, one of the things that often gets ignored, and I understand why, no one has to care about it. But if you're a developer, if you're creative of any kind, you don't want to make the same thing forever. Because you get pretty good at it, and then it gets to just turning the crank, and it's not challenging or interesting anymore. So when it comes to things like Fallout 76 or like Wolfenstein Youngblood, and I guess those are 2 Bethesda games, but to me, they sort of... To me, that's the developer saying, we want to try that because we think it might work. And then it kind of does sometimes.
Well, I don't know. I do think that Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online, those are all games as a service thing. And people are still pushing, like EA is still pushing that. They're doing that for Battlefield right now. So I know that a lot of people have been like, no, we're no longer doing games as a service. We're only doing single players now. Because we tried games as a service. Nobody wants it. I promise you that maybe the developers are saying that, but all the publishers and all the money men are like, make it a games as a service, because that's the only way we actually make a lot of money year over year. Versus we release a game, and unless it turns into a Skyrim or a GTA, it makes its money in the first 3 months, and that's it. It disappears. So it's got to be weird for them. It's just like making movies now. It's exactly like making movies. Because if your movie does not have legs, if it's not making money on VOD, or if it's not making money on whatever else, it's gone. And you spend $100 million on something that may or may not have made money. And it's probably more like 200 or 300 million. And it's the same with a video game. Like those fucking GTA's got those budgets are $300-400 million for those video games. So they needed to make a lot of money, and it has to continue to make money, or else they will never make the money back that they put into it. So. Yeah,
the economics of traditional games are a nightmare.
Really?
Because, yeah, you got to sink in 40-50 million for a AAA game, and you won't see a cent of that money back until like 4.5 years later, where if everything goes right, you have a product that can ship. It doesn't really work out that way sometimes, though. That's so hard. That is so hard to do. I can't even imagine the pressure of having that budget of $100 million or whatever it is, and being like, boy, I hope this sells. Like, our concept is good and we like what we're doing, but who knows? People may shit on it like Cyberpunk, and then we're fucked. Yeah.
So,
well, Amusingly, they're not. I mean, CD Projekt specifically, they sold a lot
sold
of copies of that game.
Yeah, they did.
Which, you know, based on lies, if you want to believe that or whatever. But
was it based on lies? I just assumed that they did.
no, they lied first.
Oh,
they lied to you.
I didn't know. Okay, all right.
There was supposed to be a train, subway.
Was there supposed to be a train?
People say that. But no.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think it was shown in a trailer.
I didn't watch much of the marketing materials of Cyberpunk before it came out. So when I played the game, I was like, boy, that was fun. And everyone else was like, where the fuck was my train? And I was like, what?
It was in a cinematic trailer.
I was like, what train? And they're like, and you were supposed to be able to, what else were you supposed to be able to do in that game? There were so many things.
Wall running and car customization are the two that people bring up.
Yeah. Why did you customize your car? And I was like, I remember looking around being like, boy, there's a lot of cool cars. It really, I'm thank God I didn't watch any of those trailers. I watched a few of the trailers, but it's not like I took note. I sat there and was like, okay, it needs to have a train, it needs to have this, it needs to have that. I didn't do any of that. I instead was just sort of like, neat. So, I don't know.
How dare you?
I don't know.
I mean, this is all connected to like hype, I think, or just marketing excitement, which is kind of connected to Gamescom. Because man, as I was watching the Gamescom presentation, which is a well-produced show, you know, I think Jeff did a good job there, just like from one producer to another.
Yeah.
But man, I just could not stop thinking there are too many games. Way too many. I already have like a stack of 50 that I could play. And then there's all these. There's an XCOM with Marvel characters, which sounds rad.
Oh yeah, Midnight Suns. The only thing I watched was the trailer. I don't know anything other than that.
I don't think. Well, there are some interviews on some blogs. I think Polygon has an interview with Jake Solomon.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone expected a GTA style game, and it was Deus Ex but open world. Yeah, I've thought a lot about that because, like, I don't think you can show the verb of getting into and out of a car in gameplay and not have people assume it's a GTA.
Yeah.
And then it makes me wonder, like, what's the cutoff of acceptable functions for a GTA like to have? Because nobody really. I thought Saints Row Saints Row 1 was a little lacking, but it also was, you know, like early Gen 7. I think GTA 4 had been out there. But I don't know, I played it and I was like, okay, this is dumb. And it's, you know, it's not GTA 4. I can't go bowling. But I guess I can get hit by cars in an intersection, so that's cool. Yeah, Watch Dogs was kind of a GTA-like. But people weren't really mad at Watch Dogs for not being able to go bowling or customize your car or whatever. And
actually, Legion I thought was fun. I got to play Legion for 4 or 5 hours. And
LA Noire, yeah.
And enjoyed it. But
people did complain about that with LA Noire. Sorry, I keep.
Oh yeah, no, they totally did. But I don't know I don't know what it was about Cyberpunk. The gameplay loop I enjoyed, and I said that over and over. I was like, I enjoy this gameplay loop. I enjoy going to a different house and hacking people and killing people. Like, I think that's really fun.
Sure.
I thought they did a good job with that, and a lot of open world games do not hook me that way. Whether or not it's Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs or whatever, generally the Ubisoft formula hasn't hooked me for a really long time. Even though I know they're well-made games, it's just not my thing. But I don't know.
I think Syndicate was the last Assassin's Creed I finished. No, I finished Origins, but it doesn't really have an ending. Like, that's the frustrating thing. There's just some half-assed cutscene with a narrator like saying generic things, and then the camera pans up to the sky, and then it just dumps you back out into the open world. So, I don't know, Midnight Suns. How about that? They're wearing black and gold.
So this is Firaxis, which means, and they were saying it's not XCOM.
That's cool.
Because I assumed it's Marvel XCOM. Am I wrong? I know, because I saw people being like, it's Firaxis, but it's not XCOM. And so I was like, is it or not?
It's more of a Mario and Rabbids.
Oh, okay.
I'm making that up.
All right. Because, like, they didn't show...
Same game.
It's Marvel XCOM, just not as hard. Which actually sounds, to me, more appealing. Because XCOM generally is not my thing. Maybe I haven't given it enough of a chance.
More of a Gears Tactics kind of game.
Yeah, I haven't. Maybe I just haven't. You know what? Maybe I haven't given enough a chance. And now that I'm streaming, I have time. I have time to sit down and play an XCOM or something and be like, oh, you know what? I actually do like this. Like, I've been playing more of apparently they're called 4X games.
Oh, yeah.
Which I didn't know up until I played Humankind recently.
Explore, expand.
You're getting there.
I don't know the other two. And the second one might have been wrong.
4X. What are the 4X's,
X's.
chat?
That's what
excitement.
Yeah, exploit. Extreme.
Yeah,
You're just staring at spreadsheets and clicking on planets. Really. So you what 4X are you playing?
I played Humankind.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Humankind was fun. I mean, like, I enjoyed it. Bannerlord honestly was that's exactly my game, where it is a 4X game, but it's also every ex-wife is exterminate. Xfinity, the internet service. Nice job.
Xbox.
No, Bannerlord was perfect because I could drop myself into a battle and play the battle.
Okay.
Versus just, I hope my numbers beat the other numbers. Yeah.
Two bars racing to the bottom. You're like, go, go, go. Oh!
Yeah.
Planet turns from red to blue. Shit.
And you're like, fuck. I know. But I think more and more that I'm getting into those games, the more I will accept two numbers fighting each other and being like, I hope my numbers beat their numbers. And everyone's like, play Civilization. And I could play I'm sure I could play Civilization for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. Yeah, easily. I just don't know if I will. Like, I just don't know if that's something I want to sit down and try. So
you need to get into Dwarf Fortress. That's more of a immersive sim. Another term that's getting revitalized. Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate. Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's some 90s shit.
I know.
Love it. I got like Star Control 2 working on a really old computer, and then like the rest of the day was just gone. I like I did that, and it was like 2 days later.
Yeah, it's true. Those games they're super addictive because it feels like everything always feels within reach. Mm-hmm. It always feels like you're like, oh, if I just do a couple more of these things, it'll take over. But then it gets longer and longer and longer, and you're like, why did I spend so much time on this?
It's a series of short-term goals presented to you in an easy-to-discern way.
That's right.
That was World of Warcraft's magic. There was always a meter that was about to fill up.
That's right. Absolutely. Hey, this will be fun.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars. That'll be fun. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga gameplay. Why not? Why not?
Every single reaction I have
Why not?
To everything is curmudgeonly today, and I apologize in advance. I'm excited for it. I still wish they didn't talk. I thought when they were just like kind of grunting and murmuring and gesturing, it was way cuter. Because like, if you'd seen the movies, like you knew what the scenes were, and it was fun seeing them sort of pantomime them.
Sure.
So I don't know. It's not. Also, why do Lego games run at like? Shouldn't Lego games run at like 1 billion FPS?
Yes.
They're little blocky boys, and yet somehow they're running around with lasers and bits and stuff, and it's like kind of chunky in the trailer. It's not done yet. I know that like optimization comes late.
Well, is this 2022? Are we getting this in 2022 or is it this year? I thought it was this year. Maybe it got delayed. I know a lot of games got delayed in 2022 because of COVID, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Regardless,
Chewbacca's back.
It'll be fun. Guys, Chewbacca doesn't die. I don't know if you know in Rise of Skywalker.
God, that was such a tense 30 seconds where we thought Chewbacca might be dead.
I was like, good for the movie for taking risks. I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah, I was like, wow, somebody actually that
they actually killed Chewbacca.
Man, he went out rough. It was like what I was thinking, but no, he's right over there. Okay. What about the 40 people that died on the transport? Not worried.
Whatever that. As long as Chewie's fine, we're good.
Chewie made it all the way through. How about that?
He did.
3PO fucking made it all the way through.
Which is, I never expected R2D2 and C3PO to die.
Yeah.
Ever. I did expect, because I think so Finn, Rey, and Poe.
None of the new cast died.
They all made it through.
I mean, Hux went down.
Who cares? Remember that's another line. Something I've always wanted to say in real life. I'm the spy. Don't you remember that?
I mean,
he pointed at him and went, I'm the spy.
Out of I will say, out of all the things I don't remember from episode 9, the one thing that I was like, okay, that actually was in line with the character and makes total sense, was Hux being so bitterly spiteful.
Yeah, he was.
That he was willing to throw everything away just to like fuck with Kylo Ren. And I'm like, you know what? All right. I've always loved Hux. That's pretty good. And that was it. Then it ended.
He just yelled, I'm the spy. And then I remember everybody in the theater going, like literally out loud laughing.
You can't stop
I was like, what the fuck?
What about Benicio del Toro's character with his little boots? Do you think he survived?
I thought he did.
I mean, he survived 8, but what about 9? He might have been on that transport.
Who cares? That's what I have to say to that.
See, Chewbacca was about to get on, and then Benicio del Toro was like, out of the way.
He exploded.
Yeah. Which would say a lot about the Force, really.
somebody. Oh man, there was another thing I wanted to talk about. Rise of Skywalker. What the fuck was
Chewie died in the extended universe.
Oh yeah,
Great.
they killed Kylo Ren. By the way, they killed their best character of those movies was Kylo Ren, and they killed him. Every decision they made along the way, I was like, what?
Yeah, people are telling you not to scroll past that Turtles trailer, Bruce. Come on, Bruce.
Guys, I am
80s kids.
I am an 80s kid.
Remember the past?
I'm more attached to Ninja Turtles than probably most of the people here. And I don't give a fuck about this. I don't give a shit. Yes, I know. You could play as April. I saw.
Did you hear those orchestra hits in the soundtrack?
I know. I saw that you could play as April, everybody. Boy, do I not care.
They had a lady turtle. We're rolling this shit back. Where's Venus?
You know,
I didn't see any of those cartoons. I don't give a shit.
Man, I watched them all. This is what I grew up with.
I grew up with it too. I mean, I watched it because it was there. I was pretty into it for a while. Actually, it was totally super sick. I was in like a thrift store with my parents because my parents really like going to thrift stores. And they had like a trade paperback for the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was like in the 80s, and I was like, oh, sick, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, awesome. And my parents actually got it for me. And then I started reading it, and I was like, holy shit! The original Turtles, like, is brutal as hell. It's ultra violent. They, like, swear a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sick as hell.
It was pretty adult.
And they go to space, like, right away. Actually, it's in the second trade paper.
That's what they should.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. They go to, like, Triceratops planet, and they have to, like, fight in Coliseums and stuff.
That's what they should.
Pretty sick. But yeah, Shredder dies pretty quick. He's like the first arc.
But boy, do I not give a fuck about this. And I'm sure it'll be fun, and I'll probably end up playing it on stream like 1 or 2 times and be like, neat.
She's wearing the jumpsuit, Bruce.
But everybody...
She did a little mic drop.
Everybody will do that. Everyone will go, for 1 day, and then it'll disappear.
Remember Pokemon Snap?
Yeah.
Gone.
I mean, thank God I beat that game
3 hours later.
I did a 24-hour stream, beat the shit out of it. I was like, I'm never playing it again.
Like, I'm doing 24-hour stream Pokemon Snap, and it's like, 24 hours, you think?
I literally beat the thing almost 2 times over. And then I did all of the extras, too. It was great.
Yeah.
Because then I never have to consume it or touch it again.
You didn't have to in the first place.
I mean, that's true. But I enjoyed it. I had fun. Got a world first in there, Lawrence.
Oh, you did?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a world first because it was the first day of release, and I woke up one of the legendaries.
Woo.
Pretty sure it was a world first, Lawrence.
Must have been.
I'm going to be honest with you. Look, I'm almost positive because I tweeted it out. I was like, I think this is a world first. Nobody else responded. Was like, this other streamer beat you.
Oh, well, that's it then.
So,
unless somebody disputes the flag, it stays in the ground.
Then yeah, so that's the only thing I can claim as a world first.
Now, speaking of Pokemon, how about that? What is it? DokeV?
Oh, yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
Was there a trailer?
Yeah. No, I was just bringing it up out of nowhere. It's that weird Korean game where like
because people were talking about
kids
it.
have like mo-capped bodies and weird gonky faces. Yeah.
Tell me about this. What is this?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
Because I don't know what it is. This is the first I've seen or heard of this.
It looks like a kind of an open world shooter. Because every time you're engaged with a monster, it gives you that like little ring around you. So it's like, okay, it's almost like a JRPG. I feel like there's encounters, and then when you're inside of a combat thing, you have like almost like Devil May Cry combat controls. You can jump around and
people are saying it's like
guns.
Second Life.
I mean, I see a lot more combat, and there are hints of collectionism with like the little cute animals, because like later on in the trailer, they kind of bust out their little animal sidekicks for co-op attacks and stuff. Yeah, they said it's a creature collecting MMO made by the Black Desert Online devs. So,
all right.
It's slightly less horny, thank God, given the subject matter. But like, I don't know. I've been wondering for a while why Pokemon games are so bad, and people keep liking them and buying them and playing them.
Because Pokemon.
I
mean, you know why?
But I want there to be competition. Like Temtem was great. Temtem actually was a game.
It was fun too. Yeah.
And they're still working on it, which is great. But like, just make more games like Pokemon, so maybe Pokemon will be good again.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, did you play? What the fuck was that? What?
I think I just saw a plastic bag like flying up to the sky. Hold on, I gotta check that out.
Outside?
Yeah, it was like going straight up. Hold on.
Out my window?
Yeah, it was like against that house.
That's probably just it's probably just garbage. Oh, be careful. Did you disconnect any of those?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. As long as one of those is my computer, one of those is Autumn's. It should be fine. As long as it's still connected, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Law Dog is high on those shots. It's true.
Feeling good.
He's high on those the COVID booster and the flu shot.
But it also like I don't know, just looks like a big old K-pop video. It's awesome.
It literally looks beautiful, actually. Like I'm excited for the artistic flair of this game.
I don't want to be this weird like 6-year-old kid though.
Why not? Look how cool.
It's disturbing to look at.
But look how cool. Do you see how cool?
I don't like the way
Face
they
shield?
move.
Do you see that face shield?
The proportions are wrong. I feel like it's the sort of thing where they're just gonna start biting me. They'll just jump on me and start biting me.
It's
They move like people.
yeah, on purpose. Hopefully they didn't motion capture actual children. Because I don't want. Lawrence, I'm the same way. I don't want to play as a child either.
Not a child like that. Not one who's like Spider-Man swinging. It's not right for a 6-year-old to do that. That ain't natural. Damn it. Exactly, Onet. Thank you.
You know what's good though is that
what if Pokemon looked like this? People would lose their fucking minds.
They lose their shit. Yeah. This to me looks like they wanted to make Breath of the Wild, but then they made a bunch of little kids doing things. Whereas for some reason you can pull it off with Link. Link isn't, even though he is a little boy, he for some reason has this air of being old around him. And because you play as a 12-year-old Link, I think even younger in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, he's like straight up child.
Yeah,
in some of them, but it's like a stylized sprite. Whereas I think it's just it's like the performance capture that's really thrown me for a loop, because I swear they like adults did mocap and then they mapped it onto a tiny kid body.
I think you're right,
and it makes them look like they move like adults. Like kids just move kind of gonky, and it's kind of so that she's kind of moving like a kid, like knees locked out.
But you're right. That looks like an adult imitating a child,
which is I don't know.
Which is weird.
It's really weird. Link's not human. He's Hylian.
Whatever.
I also like that it's Do-K-V, because they're like Pokemon.
Oh,
what can we?
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, this is the first thing.
Wow.
Also, that's going to be a tough sell. What's Dokev? No. Do-K-V.
Do-K-V.
Okay. I just want a copy of Dokev, please. I want to see this. Kojima edited this, Bruce.
This is a 9-minute video for Death Stranding. 9 minutes. Did you ever beat Death Stranding?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Huh?
I heard it was a cool ending. Was it cool?
Cool as a...
Oh, never mind. Subjective.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very fuzzy ending.
Did Kojima put this ad on it?
Culligan drinking water. Yeah, that seems like
Did he put that little banner?
It was
ad
blue,
on?
Bruce. Blue box. It's all connected, dog. Silent Hill confirmed.
I 100%, by the way, think that is still Silent Hill.
You do?
I do.
Oof.
They haven't. Have they showed a video game?
They showed a trailer that was real.
That was a bullshit trailer. That looked like it was a scam.
Well, I mean, I think the game's a scam. Well, it's not a scam. The game is a vastly overambitious, it's gonna be a spooky hallway. That's what it's gonna be.
Really? I think the whole thing is a scam for fucking Silent Hill.
I don't know if it's a scam. Sony wouldn't buy into a scam, because they put up a blog post and stuff, but I really doubt it's for Silent Hill. That it doesn't smack of Kojima. Kojima's too much of a cornball, and they try to play it so straight.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
At every drop, they're like,
did Kojima put this other banner ad in there?
Is that blue?
There's a blue box right there.
There's a box. Blue box. Not a scam, but certainly not legit. Why can't it just be a crappy indie game? Isn't that legit?
Because it seems to be like
there's so many of them. This is just another one.
But it seems like it's sanctioned by Sony.
They had a blog post. That's it. And that's what Sony does with their partners. They do blog posts.
That's true.
So there's really nothing uncommon about it.
Silent Hill.
I want it to be Silent Hill, but it's probably not. I mean, it is not. I wouldn't. Konami has done some micro experiments.
They fly now.
Oh yeah, they fly now.
They fly now. Sam flies now.
Oh, look at the little feet.
Sam America Bridger, or whatever his name was. Sam
Porter Bridges.
Sam Bridger Wires.
Wait, but America wasn't there.
Sam Delivery Man Porter Bridger Wires America.
It's a metaphor, Bruce.
No, it's not a metaphor. That's actually exactly what it was.
Yeah, but it's a metaphor.
That's not a metaphor.
And walking. And
that's actually literally, it's like when people say you're being passive aggressive. Like, no, I'm actually being aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm not being passive aggressive, telling you what I want.
God, that reminds I mean, that literally happened to me once. I was in a meeting and I was trying to ask somebody something, and somebody else was talking and playing a loud video, and I was like, hey, can we keep it down for a second? We're having a meeting here. And then the response was like, oh, somebody's a little passive aggressive this morning. I was like, no, that's just aggressive. Yeah. I'm telling you to shut up.
Yeah, I know. You're just being honest.
What's amusing is the response was passive aggressive, because it was
correct.
muttered under the voice.
It was very passive aggressive, absolutely.
Good times.
Oh, anyways, are you gonna go play this? Are you gonna do this? The director's cut?
PS5.
Can you put in not 40 hours like you did last time, but 70?
I mean, I actually really like Death Stranding.
Okay, well then you can do it then.
And apparently, so I've never seen Prometheus. But,
I have many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beach imagery in Prometheus. Yeah.
There is. Yeah. It feels like a beach. I mean, I don't know if there's much ocean in that game or in that movie, but it does look like a kind of like a dead beach, basically.
So like, I again haven't seen it yet, but I do know Kojima loves fucking taking imagery from movies he likes.
He does. Yeah.
So I was like, really? Is that what Death Stranding was? Was it? You just saw Prometheus and were like, I'm gonna put all that in my game, and that's where it went.
Well, Prometheus. I mean, like, well, to Kojima's credit, there was no delivery in Prometheus. It wasn't any of that shit.
And there wasn't really. Oh no, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, it's
like,
more of a cutscene.
So all the gameplay itself was seemed relatively original. I thought the whole concept was pretty original.
It super is.
Um,
That's one of the things that Kojima never really gets a lot of credit for.
Yeah,
it's like he'll even joke himself about his cutscenes and his storytelling, but there's always a game there.
Yeah, no, I know.
With the exception of Metal Gear Solid 4.
I wasn't crazy about the gameplay loop of Death Stranding. That said, it was really original, and I thought it was cool that they did that. I didn't like it. I played about 10 hours of it, but I wasn't like, boy, I can't wait to get back and play 30 more hours of it. But it was still neat, still cool.
Yeah, I was, we were talking a little bit about this before the podcast and the lost tapes. And I know that we've talked about it on the podcast before as well, but the notion of like a narrative or a story being created to invoke certain questions or inviting you to think about certain things, but then ultimately sort of backing off and refusing to provide maybe a creator's take or an agenda.
Yeah.
I think that's what Death Stranding is. It goes so far into the metaphysical at the end that there's not really a way to discern like what the moral of the story was. Everyone can have their own take,
sure,
but I do think that Kojima intentionally crafted it to be like a David Lynchian sort of, it's out there in the fog, man, and whatever you took away from it's just as valid as anything else.
Yeah, an artistic interpretation that everybody has. A lot of artists are, I mean, honestly, most of the celebrated artists that are not pop culture.
There's our Kojima. He's being wacky. So we're seeing Sam Bridge is doing some flopping.
They usually have open interpretations. Generally, like modern art is like that, where you say whatever you want. It could be a bunch of garbage on the floor, but this is what it is. And what did you take away from it?
Wasn't the moral that humanity is better united? But that's what caused the Death Stranding in the first place.
So what is it, Lawrence? What's the moral? You played it. What did you take away from it? Look at that thinking face.
I mean, it just goes so heavy into like blurring of the boundaries of the person and the soul. It goes a lot into like parentage and what your parents give you and the parts of them that go along with you and how like life force can be connected through like a lot of places we don't understand. Mm-hmm. And then the process of understanding, it's like humans have a natural curiosity that can open up a lot of doorways to the unknown. The government is corrupt. I mean, yeah, that was in there, I guess, but wasn't really.
That's in literally every story, by the way.
I mean, it wasn't even really corruption in Death Stranding. It was just misinformation, which you could argue is. So I don't know. There's if you take the ending at face value, there's a lot of themes you could read into, but nothing of like the beats don't really connect to form a greater whole at some point. Like, what was the deal with Mads Mikkelsen? Like when you go into his weird World War I nightmarescape, what was that all about? What was Higgs all about? What was his deal?
I mean, I don't know these questions because I didn't play it, but I like that you're just asking those questions.
Higgs was named after the formative particle that gives things mass.
Higgs boson.
Yeah. So he's ostensibly a figure that gives existence and creation to things. Oh, you can do motorcycle tricks. Rad. So yeah, I just think I find it kind of interesting that like, I like that games are at a place where something like Death Stranding can exist at a AAA budget, but I think it makes sense that its reception wasn't as powerful as Metal Gear, where it's like, Here's a cool cigarette smoking guy.
Old timey car.
He's just got to shoot some motherfuckers in the face.
Old timey car.
Oh yeah,
there's a Death Stranding race for
they
some
do
reason.
racing now. They had cars. The handling was.
But did
right.
they rate? Did they have a race?
They did not.
Oh, okay.
You could drive them on roads. So can you actually? Is it? Oh, you're racing against ghosts. That makes sense. Because there can't be legitimate multiplayer, like having another player in your game. Mads being the amazing villain that he is. You thought he was a villain?
Oh, look at this! Wow.
I mean, he was antagonistic, sure, but you never really understood his motivations and the like.
Mads Mikkelsen was the good guy.
I mean, he was a father. Although, like all the flashes you get when you connect to BB, you get like weird little shots of him, and you do get some closure on him and what he did at the end of the game. That's like the only closure you really get. But I don't really get how it went from that to him existing in like the middle space and like a Warzone dimension. The implication, I guess, is that he's a real ice cold motherfucker and knows how to shoot some people, which feels like a very Kojima thing. Kojima loves his like ice cold badasses developing hearts.
Well, guys, thank you, Lawrence, for that recap of Death Stranding.
I love that game.
You have reinforced that I will never touch it.
No!
But
I'll play it, Bruce, and you can just chill out and just like check your phone. And
I was going to say, I would be happy to watch you play and ask you questions about the lore as you play.
Oh, we can get into some, we can get some talks.
Because there will be lots of times that I'll probably tune out and fall asleep while you're talking.
That's fair.
But I imagine there's more than enough material for you to do that.
Oh, yeah, big time. Especially if you let me read all the emails. That's where all the real lore is, Bruce. You got to read those emails.
That's like the reading books in Skyrim.
It's a little bit better than that, but yeah.
A lot of people do that. Those books, they're like, "Do you read the books?" And I was like, "No, are you crazy?"
I tried, man. That's what's fucked about Skyrim. How come I'm gonna pick up Lusty Argonian Maid and it's gonna be part 12? Todd, just make the first one part 1 and then make the next one part 2.
Because then it gives you have to fill in the narrative yourself.
No, then I just carry around like 18 books waiting for like part 1 so I can start reading them.
You're not wrong.
Bleh.
You are not wrong.
Bleh.
Lawrence,
or make it so it just goes into a codex. I don't have to carry the fucking thing around. So when I find the first book, then it goes into my codex and I can read them all.
This is Skyrim though. That's unrealistic. I like when people say that about video games. Like you couldn't do that. That's unrealistic. The fuck? Every video game is unrealistic. What are you talking about? All right. I should say that this podcast, the reason we're doing it is because it is brought to you by NordVPN. That's right. NordVPN sponsors Talk to the Internet and has for months now. Maybe even a whole year.
Maybe even a year.
I'm not even sure how long they've sponsored it. But if you would like a reliable VPN at a very, very cheap price, go to nordvpn.com/talk2internet. nordvpn.com/talk2internet. It'll give you a 2-year plan plus 4 months free for $3.18 a month for 2 years. So $3 for a VPN, in my opinion, not a bad deal at all. It's easy to use. You connect with one click. If you don't know what a VPN is, it basically hides your internet traffic. It routes your internet traffic through other servers around the world and ends up being sort of a safety measure for you in the case that you don't want people spying on your internet traffic or something like that. There's 5,200 servers in 60 countries across the world for NordVPN. It's very, very fast. A lot of people are concerned about how VPNs will slow down their speeds, but NordVPN really doesn't do that. I actually did speed tests to verify that. Slowed it down a little bit, but hardly at all. It can be on up to 6 devices, every major platform: Windows, Android, iOS, macOS, Linux. And Lawrence, I know you don't have Android TV at home, but it supports Android TV.
I actually do.
Oh, well, never mind.
I have an NVIDIA Shield TV.
I didn't know that. There is an automatic kill switch. If the VPN connection accidentally drops, it blocks that device from accessing the web. There's a double VPN, which that's extra protection. You get literally two VPNs on top of each other, doubling the encryption in the case you're doing some secret government shit like Lawrence is to do. When Lawrence isn't streaming, I don't know if you guys know that he's actually hacking.
Yeah. Mostly to buy PS5s for the government, but yeah.
Thank you. That's a public service you're doing. NordLynx, which is also their next generation VPN tunneling solution based on a WireGuard protocol, makes that VPN faster, which is why it really doesn't lower your speeds. This is something that we talk about, and I have yet to try. I don't know if you've tried this, which is the region lock stuff for Netflix and other things. You can route your connection through one of those servers let's say in the UK, and watch Netflix from the UK, which is super interesting. Again, I have not tried it. Have you tried that yet?
I mean, we get most of the releases in the United States.
Are you bragging right now?
A little bit. So for anyone who's not blessed enough to be free, you can route your internet connection through
the UK is also a democracy.
Real internet.
No.
They got a king, so
they do have a king. You're right.
They have a queen. I mean, no king right now. Anyway, if any of our hot American media is not available to you, you just bounce it right off a server in America.
That's right. If you're in the UK or Australia, you can route through America, and you can watch Netflix here in the US, where obviously it is the best.
Mm-hmm. Got all the superheroes.
You can also do that with gaming too. That's another thing that I haven't talked about very often for NordVPN. Is if their game is not available in your country, you can change your virtual location with NordVPN and buy it. You can find discounts in other regions, which actually that happens a lot. Australian viewers of my stream always say like games are $80 Australian, but here I'm always like, oh, there's $60 in the US, and Australians are like, but just, like they get upset. So I'm like, you could use NordVPN to route your connection through the US and get a cheaper game. So again, Talk to the Internet, our podcast. The reason we do this podcast is because it's sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN.com/talk2internet will get you this deal, a 2-year plan for $3.18 a month. So you get 4 months free. It's $89 for the first 2 years, which boils down to about $3.18 a month for NordVPN.com/talk2internet. And again, if you use NordVPN, which I have, it's really, really easy. And one of those things that, in the case that you need security, seems like it's very, very secure. And it has been for me. I used it when I was getting DDoSed. And it certainly made me feel better. So NordVPN.com/talk2internet. Yes, I do use Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge is actually Chrome-based. I don't know if you know that. It totally is.
Oh yeah, they use Chromium now.
That's right. So if you're worried why I use Microsoft Edge, that's why, because it's actually a lighter version of Chrome. So, all right.
Blazin' Penguin, thanks for using our code.
Oh, thanks, Blazin'. Blazin's always in the chat. Blazin's an old goose.
Also, Mega Dirk, you're right.
What?
Said Lawrence looks like the friend who's way too high but trying to act like he's not.
Well, that's what you do when there's an ad read and somebody else is reading an ad read.
Yeah, I got to button it up.
You just kind of sit there and just be like...
I mean, I could have whipped out my phone. That was always my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Blanket. Whoosh.
Boom.
Yeah. It's like they rehearsed it. It's awesome.
It's, you don't know what to do sometimes when people are reading ads.
You think about your texts. You think about... I mean, I think my girlfriend's on a plane over the ocean right now.
That's right. That's a long... How long is that flight?
I should probably know that, huh?
I would assume it's like, what, 13 hours probably?
That sounds about right.
It's to the UK, it's 10 from LA?
Yeah, hopping all the way to Poland.
Going to CDPR.
That's right.
CD Projekt Red.
Sunny Warsaw, Poland.
This is going to sound weird, Lawrence, but I wish that I could go to CD Projekt Red and give them all big hugs and be like, I really liked your video game.
I'm going to.
I
get a couple days in Warsaw when we're gonna like bounce around a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't have any skin in the game like Lawrence does. Lawrence was dating and has had Stephanie as a partner for a very long time. So when she was helping to release the game, and obviously Lawrence is very excited about Cyberpunk, there's a lot of bias there for Lawrence.
Yeah.
And for me, there was none. I was excited to try the game, and when the game came out, I really enjoyed it. So, and I felt so bad for all these developers just getting shit on that I was like, I just want to come over and give a big hug and be like, hey. You worked real hard, and I really like it. But whatever.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get my hugging arms ready. I've been practicing. That's a lot of hugs to give.
It is.
It's like hundreds of people, but I'm gonna get them all.
Yeah, I mean, like.
And if I know anything about Polish culture, they're gonna love a big old American coming up and just bear hugging them real hard.
Somebody said, "I love that broken mess, guys." On PC, it was not a broken mess.
Yeah,
I played the game and enjoyed it. Like, and it's funny. I've seen a lot of people do the har. The Ascent had more. The Ascent had a train har, and
that's true.
The Ascent, when we played it, was awesome, but it broke.
Yeah.
The worst that it possibly could have.
Well, so I get it though. That game was made by like a crew of 10 to 12,
and I don't fault them for that.
And CDPR is now like the big evil corporation.
I don't fault them for that. Yeah.
They lied, Bruce. They lied to you. No, I get it. Like I get how tasty that narrative is, you know?
It is. It's real tasty.
I can't really blame anyone for like grabbing that fruit and yanking it off the tree.
It's real tasty.
What bums me out though, and this is,
if you're farming for likes, then you just slam on Cyberpunk. You need a few likes. You just get out there and get it.
God, I got so tired of like what. Okay, you've distracted me, but what I find less and less excusable the older I get, and this is me, mellowing out a bit. But what sucks for me is like I consider us extremely blessed to be able to just play video games and share that joy with people. And, there's some production and some oversight involved, but for that to be a job is something, or to be a revenue source, is outrageous for me. What kills me is that there are people in that position that can still maintain this like air of indignity about it all. Like, how dare you put this in front of me, even though I am profiting directly from dunking on the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you would think on some deep level, this is going to be really messed up to say, but there'd be some gratitude for fueling so much media consumption.
All their content, yeah.
Yeah, because like bug compilations and stuff, they did gangbusters of views, and people were getting all kinds of crazy social engagement and stuff like that. And just to not have that moment of reflection, to be like, damn, this was like a work of hundreds of people over 4 years, and I am cashing out on that as hard as I can. When that's the whole product that your business thrives on. You're downstream of all that work. And just be like, fuck you. Well, I think what it is kind of earlier what I was saying. There's so many games. You can afford to just piss in the face of one of them for your own gain, and it doesn't matter. And also, when the next game from CDPR comes out, they'll all play it, and it'll be the same thing.
Juanito said, but they cash out on us.
Okay.
Did they? I mean, if you got a refund, they didn't.
They offered refunds, and also the next gen patch is going to be free. My girlfriend works for them, so I'm not trying to be
but I mean, this comes from me. Like, just get a refund. And I always say this. I say this on everything that I talk, every piece of content we talk about this shit. Vote with your wallet. So just don't buy the game or get a refund. Tell them you don't want it.
No, I could see there being like the narrative that CDPR like gamed the review process is pretty rough, because then it's
absolutely, yes, yeah.
They actually if you really wanted to be caveat emptor, you could be like, well, it was pretty clear it was only the PC version and you only had to wait a day. But still, that's pretty messed. But then again, every company does that. Every last one.
Well, this is, and I'm not, by the way, this is not an excuse for CDPR or any other company, but it's always buyer beware in a capitalist society. It always has been. So no matter what people say their product does, it's always buyer beware. And it sucks. It sucks to say that, but it is totally true. And again, not an excuse for CDPR or any other thing. Don't pre-order is always my answer to that question. Super Green. Don't pre-order the games. Just wait a week if you can do it. Or pre-order it, download the game, play it, and be like, this is garbage, and get a refund. So do that too.
Action Hack, I really like that observation. People are acting like they want a refund on their hype, but they gave that away freely.
Ooh.
I think it's almost like the hype blue balls. You wanna get really excited for something, and it's almost like people crave that solidarity. And I feel like it, kind of Halo Infinite vibes of like, when the tech alpha came out, and then everybody went to the internet and like, Halo is good, and everyone else was like, Halo's good. And it was just like, you could tell it was like almost healing for some people. And I'm not saying that derisively.
No, I know
because I've been very negative today. But I think that may have been what it was. Is everybody was kind of hoping that it would be this seminal moment in pop entertainment, and it wasn't. I mean, ironically, I think it wouldn't have been anyway, because the writing and the themes in that game are not cigarette guy shoots dude. Cyberpunk is more of a Death Stranding game when it comes to the like themes of its story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I wonder how it would have gone.
I am thoroughly hyped. Maybe the most hyped I've ever been for any game for Battlefield. I pre-ordered the most expensive version, the $110 one.
Did they do that thing where you get to play 2 days early if you buy the hyper expensive one?
I think there's like the open beta and all that other bullshit that you get into a few days early. I'm again the most hyped for this video game that I have probably ever been.
You're gonna want to get into Battlefield as early as possible, Bruce.
But
past Battlefields have been any indication.
But I was gonna say, but I know that first day that it comes out, or even the beta, it's going to shit the bed for days, probably weeks. And I know that I'm gonna be upset about it. I know I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, fuck this stupid game. But that said, I am excited and I want DICE to continue making those games because I like Battlefield as a franchise. I like what they do. I've always liked DICE, and I've liked DICE since they made Battlefield 1942. So for me, this is the only game that I'll pre-order. It is literally the only game that and I've said this the last time Battlefield came out, which was 5. I don't think maybe, you know what? I don't know that I even pre-ordered 5. But it is the only video game that I will pre-order, and it's because I support DICE as a developer, and have for 20 years. Same with Respawn. Respawn, I'll happily pre-order anything because I support them as a developer. I do know that those games are going to probably be dog shit for the first week or two. That's just kind of the way it goes. No, yeah, the internet might be going whack. What do you mean? Internet's fine. My internet's fine. Or are you talking about
more tougher and buffering? I think it might be just Twitch.
That's all Twitch. Yeah, it's all on Twitch.
Bezos. He's not even at Amazon anymore.
No, he's
still his fault though.
He sits on the board, but he's not like CEO or whatever.
He's like queuing up all his torrents.
He's getting ready for the Dick Rocket 2. That's what he's doing.
I bet he's like torrenting all the space movies he can find. Yeah, it's like All the Right Stuff, Apollo 18. Fuck yeah.
But I will tell you,
4K. Yeah.
I will tell you, number one, don't pre-order a game. However, if you want to pre-order like me and support a developer, then pre-order the game and then expect it to be dog shit. That's what I would do.
Okay.
If you're going to pre-order the game, expect it to not work and know that the money you've given them is going to something else entirely. It's not going to the video game you got.
So, Bruce, in this situation, how do we get hyped?
You don't.
What?
The answer is you don't.
What?
And
we just watched Gamescom opening night live.
I'm really excited. Look, I'm excited about Battlefield. I'm hyped for it. But I also know the adult side of me knows that nothing is what you expect. And actually, and I'm not saying this isn't a negative way to think for me. I don't think like, I don't go in and go like, this is going to be garbage. It's more of like, if this is great, if I really enjoy it, I'm going to be like pleasantly surprised. And then if it is broken, I'll be like, hey, well, that's okay. They'll figure it out. And it's the same with movies. Like, I'm excited for, I'm actually genuinely very excited for No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. Very, very excited. That said, really worried about it. Like, I'm worried about how that movie is going to play out because there are so many different characters and so many different personalities in this film. I was the same way with Civil War. I was really worried about Civil War. I didn't think Civil War would be able to, they wouldn't be able to pull it off. And holy shit, they did. I just watched that movie the other night. Man, I fucking love Civil War so much. It's, I don't know. To me, Spider-Man No Way Home, it may not deliver for what it is. Just go in and just think about it that way. It may not be what you think it's going to be. Cyberpunk was a lesson that a lot of people learned that way because they all thought it was going to be the greatest video game of all time. So, yeah.
I'm wondering about that, Bruce, though, like, because as a content creator, you don't really have the luxury of being just like even keel all the time, right? People want that energy. They want that excitement. They want to know that your cold heart still beats strong for video games. And like, I hate how jaded this sounds, but like, I was watching all the trailers for Gamescom and like, I don't know, Far Cry 6 seemed a little flat.
Yeah.
I mean, Super Monkey Ball looks cool, but still too many games. But then I'll like go on Twitter and it's just like, no offense, all right? Anyone I follow on Twitter, I love. And anyone I don't follow on Twitter, I also love. That ought to cover my bases. But I'll just go and it's just like all caps, like, oh, controller, oh, new Xbox, oh, and I'm just like, man, you guys, like, how are you this excited for everything all the time?
Well, I think
it's just some people's nature, you know? They're kind of like born to do it.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I can turn that on.
Yeah.
So I can be really excited about something.
It's like deep down in there, you gotta find the flame
and I can also be really negative about things too. Like, but I usually will temper it in my head before I ever say it out loud. So usually I'll think about it and go like, all right, well, there are other sides to this, and then sort of try to be even keel about it. So if you just drop that filter, then yeah, you could be crazy content creator. So excited. I hate everything. And a lot of content creators are like that.
Yeah.
They're also younger, too. They're younger. And it was way easier for me to be that way when I was 20. When I was 20, I absolutely was like that. I was like, fuck yeah, I can't wait for fucking Star Wars. Star Wars is good. And then Star Wars would come out. And I remember Bones walked out of Star Wars Episode 1 with me. I was, what was that, 99? So I was 18. And I was like, did you see the lightsaber? I was like, Bones! And he was like, Bones was like, that movie was bad, dude. And I was like, it was not.
Oh, come on.
I was like, no, it wasn't. It was not. And I remember like being mad at Bones for like a few days.
Boss Nass has the last line in the movie, which means it's a good movie.
I was mad at him because he told me the movie was bad. And I was like, no, it wasn't. And I went and saw that movie a bunch of times and I went, shit, that movie wasn't very good. So it's that was a well-learned lesson about hype when I was 18 years old. Was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
I think it's when like when you haven't been on the planet that long, those formative experiences are real powerful.
They are, yeah.
And then you start to understand that like the media like that sort of follows a trend. And once you've identified the trend, then seeing permutations on that trend is interesting. And then once you see a lot of permutations on the trend, it kind of doesn't hit like it used to. Oh, just FYI, this is a bit of a distraction, but I'm curious, people in Bruce's chat, are you guys having lag problems? Because
seemingly no.
Yeah, this is what's bizarre to me. It should be splitting the stream the same way.
So it has been hitting. I have been watching this. It's been hitting different channels at different times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I went and watched other people's channels when I was having lag problems a few days ago. They were fine, and then like I would see people in chat be like, I was watching fucking whoever, Nick A30, and his was so broken.
Okay,
so
all right.
It's like making its way through the system.
Got it.
Apparently AWS is having issues. So there you go.
All right. I was about to say, somebody mentioned it in chat. I'm sorry I missed your name, but again, it comes down to that one line, baby. Spider-Man 2, Precious Tritium.
Precious Tritium. Well,
he's got to say it.
But
he burned out his
the insanity chip.
Yeah, he burned out his control chip.
Don't forget about the insanity chip.
And then he fell into the sun. So when he comes out in Spider-Verse, he's still going to not have a control chip. Is it like right after the end of the movie?
So, spoiler. Not really a spoiler, but it's somebody. I read a little brief article about this today, which was might be a big spoiler for you guys. That may or may not be true, by the way, because no one's seen the movie.
You want me to bleep it?
But
when you say
no, you don't. I don't want you to bleep it. There's a major Spider-Man spoiler that I will only take 30 seconds for me to say. So here's the deal. It's going to be a spoiler, so mute for 30 seconds right now. Mute for 30 seconds right now. Okay, here's what it is. So they show in the trailer, they show his claw, and there's an orb in the center that's red. And they said that at the end of Spider-Man 2, when he
Power of the sun
when he dies and he loses control of the octopus legs or whatever the fuck they're called, the orb is red. But when the orb is white, he has control. And they're saying the movie No Way Home could take place immediately after Spider-Man 2 because of that.
He's got to warp out of the water. Did he come out wet though?
I don't know.
Maybe the sun immediately dried him off.
Okay, spoiler done. Spoiler done. We're good. But
I'm into it. This is like we're getting even further away from what I like identify with Spider-Man though, which is fine. But like he has like a nano suit, man. Like what?
Well, he's an Iron Man suit.
You don't need superpowers. You have a nano suit. It does all the spider things for you and then some.
I saw a lot of people saying
I could be Spider-Man if I had a nano suit. Come on, Bruce.
Could you though?
It would jump for me. It would like stick me to walls. It would give me supervision. It would like know that I'm about to get a hit and be like, woo. I mean, it moved for him. Like he activated death mode in the second movie and it was just doing shit for him. So I don't know. It's something that I saw people say when I was tweeting about the Sam Raimi movies. They're like, you know what? The MCU Spider-Man is just Iron Man's baby. And I was like, oh, that's what
yeah, but I still enjoy it more and it's better. So
that is true. I mean, Spider-Man 2 though, that's pretty legit.
Spider-Man 2 is cool.
Yeah,
I like Spider-Man 2.
I watched Spider-Man 1 and I didn't even have the moment where I was like, oh, that was good. I came out of the theater and I was like, oh man.
Same with me, yeah.
Spider-Man 1 though, I mean, but it was still pretty cool, I guess. Why does he look like... This is something I've been annoyed about since 2001. Why does, at the end of Spider-Man 1, why does he look so dumpy when he's all battle damaged? He's like, because his like lips are hanging out and his like eyeball.
because it didn't because the
You're
actor.
supposed to look cool when you're battle
I
damaged.
know it's because the actor didn't work out.
He looked dumb.
He
No,
looked like-
I mean
he
even
looked
the
like
battle
shit.
damage. Yeah, he was kind of doughy at the end there.
Like
And then Spider-Man 3, Toby's a little puffed.
He looked like he looks like garbage.
I just think the battle damage wasn't good because it just looked like a bunch of. It looked like a bunch of weird string. I guess maybe like a web. I'm just saying he looked way cooler battle damaged in 2. That's all.
He did. Remember when he screams like a baby though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good little grunts and efforts in 2. They do a really good job sort of selling the CG with a lot of like natural sounds.
I mean,
Also,
I don't know if I want my hero screaming like that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, it sounded like it hurt. I'm okay with that. Spider-Man's not supposed to be cool.
It sounded like a
He's a
5-year-old was
dweeb.
hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was like, what? He's supposed to be like 18,
not in,
19?
in Spider-Man 2. He's not a dweeb. He's actually had the
Yeah,
powers
you're
for a
right.
little longer.
He's a cool guy. Remember when he like put on his glasses and his vision faded out, but also he couldn't hear as good?
Yeah.
And then he took off his glasses and then suddenly he could hear.
Yeah.
Fucking ruled.
I forgot about that.
You want to talk about, man, movies that tee up an interesting question and then don't answer it. I like how it was like, what motivates you, Peter? And it's like, how much can you self-sacrifice for the world? And I'm like, okay, neat concept. And then his girlfriend gets kidnapped and he's like, oh shit, I'm suddenly not conflicted about anything.
I gotta save my girlfriend.
And then he does and just keeps being Spider-Man because I guess, I don't know, he just decided to not deal with that.
if there's not a scene with the landlord asking for rent, what's the point?
Rent. See, again, you just need those good scenes. You just need that one line, baby. That's it. Mr. Dikovich or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had to like, it was such a Spider-Man thing. He had to go to the date, but then he had to solve a crime, and he didn't make it to the date. Mary Jane was sad. Oh, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
Honestly, those Raimi movies spawned a bunch of CW superheroes. That's exactly what those CW superhero shows are, because they're all teenagers having to deal with teenager problems, and they also have superpowers. It's so like literally half the episode is, I might have my first date tonight. I gotta make sure not be late. I'm the Flash. But then also, a bad guy comes from another dimension to show up, and for some reason is at the same place where the date is. By the way,
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
then it interrupts the date. So then he has to be like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, he's got a Three's Company it.
Dude, every
Swap,
episode,
fight the villain, then come out. And,
every episode.
Peter, where were you?
That CW show, it's exactly the same.
I was so scared and you weren't around.
You know, like
So tragic.
Arrow gets his period, and also he has to deal with whatever fucking Batman villain there was. So they're all the same thing.
I know.
The CW shows definitely do not have the Raimi style. You are correct.
You don't think? Man, I associate that entirely with Raimi style.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
Because like,
but they're not as much of the Raimi style. Raimi's the best at his own style. He has a trademark style that is so great for horror. It's awesome.
well, there was a whole line of, was it all Ted Raimi that was doing them? There was like Dante Brasco and Ace of Spades. Like there were a bunch of serialized goofy TV shows in like the late 90s
Yeah.
that all had Bruce Campbell in them, because of course they did. But I mean, to me that was prime Raimi TV. And I remember when I first started watching Arrow, like it was pretty gritty and try hard, but it still had a Raimi bouquet about it.
It did. I mean, I thought so. But I mean, like it's like a director trying to imitate Sam Raimi.
Drag Me to Hell is great.
Drag Me to Hell's awesome. That's another thing. Sam Raimi I've always respected because he's always got this really cool style that is very trademark of Sam Raimi. I don't think it worked for Spider-Man. That's all.
Slapstick.
I think it was dumb for Spider-Man. It was just that those movies came out at a great time, and made a fuckload of money. So then Sony was like, keep going. So they did, and then eventually, and everyone's always like, I've seen people say Avi Arad fucked up Spider-Man 3, and I was like, what?
I don't think so.
Hold on. See, if anybody had the most creative control over their franchise, it was Sam Raimi for Spider-Man 3. He had made 2 blockbusters. Why would anybody come in and be like, no, you can't do this thing? He'd already just made $1 billion for Sony.
I thought that wasn't that the narrative though? Is that Sony insisted on having multiple villains in 3, and then
Well, that's because nobody can admit the fault that Sam Raimi may not be the greatest director.
how dare? I mean, do people unironically say that he's a really good director?
Absolutely.
He's resourceful.
Absolutely they do.
Really?
Oh yeah. 100%.
What's a Raimi shot that you can remember? You're like, oh, chef kiss.
I mean, like it would be Evil Dead, but I don't even know. I can't even tell you a.
I mean, there's a lot of good practical work, or like stunt work in Evil Dead is great, and it's goofy. Evil Dead 2 at least.
I mean, again,
some of the action sequences in 2 are Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2, yes,
are super phenomenal.
they're cool, yeah.
But that could have been a cinematographer or whatever. The editing is just like super on point.
Yeah.
The Doc Ock train fight. I don't know that like. There's the elevator fight in Winter Soldier. Or no, there's a knife fight in Winter Soldier.
Which is
there's
awesome,
the elevator fight in Civil. Wait, is that Civil War? That's also Winter Soldier, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not an elevator. You mean the Captain America elevator fight? That, I believe, is in Winter Soldier.
I'm trying to think of like all-timer fight scenes in any Marvel
You're
film.
thinking of the Civil War fight between Bucky, Captain America, and Iron Man at the very end of Civil War.
I mean, that one was pretty cool.
When he punches a shield and stuff like that. That's rad.
I don't know. I still think Spider-Man 2, like Spidey versus Doc on the train.
It's awesome.
Is one of the all-timer like top Marvel fights.
No, I would agree. It definitely had its moments. And again, a lot of people were saying, Spider-Man 2 is the greatest superhero movie ever made, and I was like, hold on a second, I don't know about that one.
I think it's
good.
It might be the most natural. Like it does hit all the beats effectively. Like it's got action, it's got drama, it's got soul by the end of it. But no, it's hard to like. It's hard to up Infinity War and Endgame.
Well, or either that or Dark Knight, which also might be the greatest superhero movie ever made. But I mean, like that's I think that's way up there as well. But a lot of people would say Endgame or Infinity War. If you're not a Marvel, if you don't love the MCU, then maybe you love Dark Knight. I don't know. But regardless, Sam Raimi here, guys. Just so you know, Sam Raimi is finishing up Doctor Strange 2. So we'll all get to see what an amazing director he is for Doctor Strange 2. I'm very worried about that because Doctor Strange 2 was Scott Derrickson who did the first one, and I liked the first Doctor Strange.
I did too.
So and Scott Derrickson left Doctor Strange 2, which it does not bode well for that project. Does not bode well.
Did you see the Alice in Wonderlandses that Raimi did? There were 2 of them, I think.
He did?
Yeah.
No.
He did like an Alice reboot and then Beyond the Looking Glass or whatever.
You mean not the Tim Burton ones?
Wait.
That's Tim Burton.
That's Tim Burton. Raimi did... No, he did Return to Oz. That's it.
Oh. No, I didn't see that.
Or another... Yeah, Burton did those. My bad. Raimi did something that everyone immediately forgot about, and I think it was a Wizard of Oz knockoff. I might be wrong about that. Yeah, Raimi did the Franco Oz movie. That's it.
Oh. No, I didn't see that.
Damn, I don't know if I've seen that either. I was like... I saw Alice in Wonderland. It was all right. Completely different director.
But that's Tim Burton.
Yeah. I like Big Fish, though. Raimi
That's
needs to make...
That's also Tim Burton.
Yeah. Raimi needs to make a Sorting Out a Daddy Issues movie. Although he's probably too old for that.
He's always loved horror, and he makes great horror movies. So I think it's interesting that he's like,
he's always... It's like he's loved camp. I feel like
he does love camp.
His horror work slots in under camp, which is the band that crosses over everything.
It's true.
Like I saw Crime Wave, which is a really weird movie, and actually does have some really interesting shots in it of like Raimi's just like playing with practical stunt work and effects. There's like some really cool stuff where like a lady's throwing plates at this like goon that broke into her house, and there's these like almost first person shots of the plates split like spinning across the room, and then the dude like slaps them out of the air. Pretty cool shot for like 82 or whenever that movie came out.
Yeah.
Definitely has like a lot of like Burton-esque set dressing and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. He has a specific style that I think a lot of people were able to look back on those old Spider-Man movies and be like, man, these are so great. And then a bunch of other movies have been made since, and they were like, yeah, they're still good. And I'm like, are they though? Like, we've gotten better at this now.
Spider-Man 2 is the only good one.
Yeah, I mean, like, Spider-Man 3 is, I thought, widely regarded as one of the worst superhero movies ever made.
Absolutely. Who would dispute that?
A bunch of people on Twitter to me.
Oh dear.
So they were like, no, it's got its place. Like, it's great. And I was like, well, is it?
I remember while I was watching 3 feeling like something was wrong. Like something's off here. And then it gets to the scene where May is like, here's my ring. And oh, your father was so... And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm into it. Like, this has got me again. And then nearly immediately... Well, actually, wait, I think after that, then it's like the Sandman scene where he's like coming together with like the music and it's like swelling. I'm like, hey, movie magic, it's working. And then nothing else in the movie lands. Yeah. Although, man, emo... For better or worse, emo Peter Parker has lived with us all this time.
It's going to be mean forever. It's great.
They knew what they were doing though, because this comb over is so bad.
Yeah, I know.
But it's that way on purpose. I don't know. I'm fascinated by the movies that can do the like tone change like immediately. Spider-Man 3 flubs it bad when he's like dancing in the club and then he elbows Mary Jane in the face and all of a sudden it's serious. I was like, oof, all right. But there are some movies that can do that like just in an instant, everything is different, and I really respect that. Unfortunately, Raimi did not.
Bully McGuire, that's what they call him, Bully McGuire.
Hell yeah.
There's dirt in your eye.
Finger gunning at people. Oh, it's so good.
Well, you know, because I'm sure somebody was like, hey, Tobey Maguire's probably like, I don't know, what do you want me to do here? What makes it look like I'm bad? And they're like, finger gun people. Like, okay.
Well, it's supposed to be the image of like, you have a total dork and then you juice them up a little bit. What do? They become insufferable. It reminds me of like, it's like shades of like tech bro stuff where some dweeb gets way too much money and then they go hog wild because they think they've earned it. Mm-hmm. They suffered through being made fun of once in class, so now they get to be just an outrageous asshole. Or like, I don't know, some of the Activision Blizzard stuff feels like that. It's like, the wrong kind of nerd got money.
That's right. Yeah. And again, Sam Raimi's always been a nerd. Always. And we're not saying he didn't earn his keep. Like I said, he made $1 billion for Sony. So like, I think it's great that he was able to make those movies, and I think it's, you know, awesome as an artist that he was able to give it a chance to do those things. I'm not saying they're great though. I'm not gonna tell you that they're good movies. I think that maybe his style may not be best suited for that, whereas Marvel has a much better finger on the pulse of that. So I don't know. It's what happened. They made Spider-Man 3 and everyone went, don't make any more. They said, stop. We're gonna take this away from you and give it to Andrew Garfield, another director. So, and they did.
Oh yeah.
So
Mark Webb.
Yeah. So it's like,
which I actually like the Amazing Spider-Man.
They're okay. They are inoffensive. They are inoffensive.
For better or worse, often worse. They are the most accurate Spider-Man films.
Sure.
Like the comics and shit.
Sure. Yeah.
Doesn't make them good.
Can we agree though that Andrew Garfield sucked? I didn't think he did.
I thought he was a really good Spider-Man.
See. All these movies are inoffensive to me, which and so then when I watch Far From Home with Jake Gyllenhaal and Tom Holland and like Sam Jackson and like basically the universe that Marvel's built, I'm like, this movie is infinitely better by leaps and bounds, and that's because Marvel's built an amazing universe around it. And look, Shard specifically hates Tom Holland.
Why you hate Tom Holland so much, Shard?
Sounds like you might be a little jealous. I'm going to be honest with you.
He's just kind of dorky, but you know.
I mean, Tom Holland's pretty great. I don't know that anybody really disagrees that. I thought we could all collectively agree that Tom Holland was awesome. But
yeah, I can't really point to a flaw in his performance.
Well, or just even as like seems like a great guy, you know, like. He's dressed up in the Spider-Man suit and surprised people at Disneyland, which is pretty cool.
He shoots his mouth off in interviews, which I appreciate.
He's also, a lot of people are speculating he's probably dating Zendaya, and has been for a while.
Yeah.
Which, hey, more power to him. That's pretty great.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm not feeling a lot of chemistry between Zendaya and Tom Holland in the Spider-Man films.
They may be fucking. Just so you know, in real life.
I mean, good for them, because that means that more. I don't know why they're saving it all for the bedroom. Give some love to the camera, kids. Jeez,
kids. Oh man.
I don't know. Maybe it's too accurate because it just kind of feels like they're teens that have similar personality types, and sometimes that's all it takes.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Lawrence, holy shit, we're over the hour and a half mark. I didn't realize.
We're just casting machines.
We were just talking about. I was going to ask you about Psychonauts.
Psychonauts!
You're excited about Psychonauts?
I am hecka excited about Psychonauts.
I got to play almost 4 hours of it and really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
That's good to hear.
And I am not a Psychonauts fan. I just liked the game. It was really well written and funny. And
are there writing credits on the sequel? Are those known? I was just digging around. I was doing some random wiki diving for another thing I was writing, and Eric Wolpa did writing for the first game.
Oh,
and I was like, oh no shit,
yeah,
that actually makes tons of sense.
Yeah,
but what a get in like 2005.
Yeah,
it wasn't really known back then. That was well before Portal.
So Wolpa's one of Valve's writers, and he probably wrote Portal and Portal 2, I think. Right?
Yeah, I think contributed writing to both, and has done a lot of other stuff.
I would assume also Half-Life 2 as well. I could be wrong, but
yeah,
I've like I said, I didn't expect much from it, but it's awesome.
Also, Maligula is a great name.
Yeah. Well,
Man.
there's every name is a pun, which I'm sure you knew, which I didn't know.
Psychonauts.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, from Old Man Murray. Yeah, it was him and Chet Felzak, I think, ran that site. Sorry, I'm.
Oh yeah, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Also, it's day one Game Pass, so it's on Game Pass.
Easy.
If you don't want to fucking buy it, don't get Game Pass instead. What is it, like $10 a month or something?
Something like that. It's a red letter day when Double Fine ships a game.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they seem like some of the rarest, like a rare studio that can, that can like not crunch and still ship titles and stay in business.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were bought by Microsoft, so Microsoft was like, take your time.
I hope so. I mean, kind of on the note we were talking about a minute ago about game budgets and Destiny 2 new season. Yeah. There's a glaive, Bruce.
Whoa, and Gallarhorn, I think.
Yeah, Gallarhorn's coming back.
Yep.
I'm more like Hallerhorn. I don't know where I was going with that. But Game Pass theoretically opens up all kinds of like big and small game ideas that you can greenlight. And it's not like, will this make its money back? It's, is this a good marketing tentpole for Game Pass? Mm-hmm. And then it gives you so much freedom to like greenlight things that are just kind of PR gets instead of big sellers.
Yeah.
And they can exist in an atomic state. Like what is it? Bleeding Edge?
Mirror's Edge?
The Ninja Theory like arena game that no one cares about?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's the kind of game that no one would say yes to in a million years. But Microsoft did because they bought Ninja Theory. So good for Microsoft. I'm glad that game exists. I think I played it twice. I love Ninja Theory too. Damn. That feels like one of those games that it was somebody's like passion project. And they kept pitching it. And people kept saying no. Bleeding Edge was Dookie Island. You thought so?
Oh no.
I enjoyed it okay. I'm burned out on like hero shooters. Don't make me play on a team. No. I want to be a guy smoking a cigarette with a gun. And I have to crawl through a base and shoot a boss a lot and kill him.
You want to stealth? You want to stealth?
Smoke my cigarette again. Is
that what you want? I mean, tonight you and I are playing Aliens, and that's exactly what we are. It's not a hero shooter. It's for better or worse, it's a co-op looter shooter, but more Back 4 Blood, Left 4 Dead style. So hopefully you like it.
Oh, I'm looking. No, I love those kinds of games.
Okay.
PvE
right.
is my shit.
I got to play it last night, and I really liked it a lot. I thought it was fun. So it's super repetitive.
That's fine.
But I enjoyed the shooting, and I thought it was really...
I'm in the perfect frame of mind for something repetitive.
Perfect. Great. So that's all it is. It's like, go somewhere, press F on a door, wait for the hordes, shoot the hordes.
Aliens.
Yeah. Okay, now go press F on another door, shoot the hordes. It's cool.
As long as you can hear that pulse rifle sound.
Oh my gosh, yes. You hear it over and over and over all the time.
Beautiful. That's all I want.
It's a constant... that phase shifted... I'm pretty sure it's a phase shifted sound effect.
Yeah, it's like pitched up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too good.
Love that sound effect.
That's the line from Aliens. It's not spoken. It's just the sound of a pulse rifle getting fired.
That was the first thing that I did was when I shot it. I was like, "That's it. That's the sound effect. That's exactly the same."
Does it have that rad little LED on the side?
I don't know if it does actually. They have the smart gun too. The thing that
like auto tracks people.
Oh, so cool.
The Vasquez gun. Oh, quick throwback. Arlene from the Doom novel.
Right.
Straight up just Vasquez.
Oh yeah.
Because they basically describe her multiple times. Like she's like one of the dudes, but she's a chick. She's got like short hair and she's tough.
Chick.
So the author clearly grew up having a crush on Vasquez and just threw that right into the book.
I mean,
I think I want another Duke Nukem game. Fuck yeah, I do. Fuck yeah, I do. I've thought about this. Like, you don't often get to use humor in games like Psychonauts does.
Yeah.
Valve games do. There's little bits of it. Like even in Left 4 Dead, the notes on the walls and the safe houses were
trying to be funny, yeah.
But it seems like the only games that are funny, I don't know.
I actually think making a video game funny is harder than making a movie or a television show funny. Because I think since you're interacting with it and it's happening at a different pace than a movie or television show, because that's a dictated pace to you, whereas a video game does not. It's paced however you want to play it. So I think it's very hard to make a funny video game. That's why when I was laughing at Psychonauts 2, I was like, this is actually genuinely very funny. So.
Oh, Wasteland 3? Yeah. I mean, in Exile, they're not afraid to throw in weird shit, and I'm into that. I mean, that's kind of extending the spirit of Fallout 1 and 2 that had just like Monty Python references and weird shit.
Yeah.
You would like bang a farmer's daughter and he'd bust in on you. What'd you do to my Darlene or whatever? That was a cool quest.
Yeah. Well, Lawrence, we can wrap up there.
Cool. I'm gonna go home and like just like do the nodding thing on my computer for a little bit.
And we'll play Aliens later.
Yeah.
I think we're starting around like 8:30, so about 4 hours from now. In the case that if you guys are wondering, if you're watching live. But thank you very much for watching again.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Lawrence's chat and my chat.
Thank y'all very much.
As always. We like doing this, and we do it like once a month now at this point. So, and again, NordVPN enables us to do it. So we appreciate you watching, and hopefully you'll use that NordVPN code. So, bye everybody.
Bye.